as we slowly grind for these light coins in these Heroes Path events, my mind wanders because there's nothing else to do in Raid. So I thought, what am I going to record today? And I thought of something I've never done in this entire game all these years that I've been playing the game. And that is not ranking Raid hottest waifus, no, not that, but close. I'm talking about ranking champions I'll actually be using in the game with this in-game review system. Yes, Raid does have an in-game review system. That is kind of a joke, but that's why a lot of people kind of ignore it. Millions of people play this game, but check out how many reviews it has there for this champion. 1,254, because it's usually ignored. So today I'm bored enough to actually leave some reviews for some champions that I've used or that I know a lot about according to how I play it. I said this review system is kind of flawed, not just because of the number of small sample data or some small number of people that do it, but because it's kind of based on personal experience. Everybody builds their champion differently, uses them in different places. But I think when you see reviews for some champions, you agree with it. When you see some reviews for some other ones, you totally disagree with it. So I'm putting discussion out there that my reviews might be skewed. We might disagree. It's totally fine. I'm giving these reviews based on my own experience, in my opinion. It's important you know that, so don't flame me for it, please. Because I'll be ranking some bad or some good and all that. To make this video less than 20 minutes for you, I'll rank only 10 of the legendaries I've used. I'll rank 10 epics and maybe 10 rares also. So that will give us a understanding of how this ranking system works. Now, if you're new to the game and you've not found out about YouTube, or you're watching this video obviously, but in the early game, most people find that they get all their champion advice from here. This is what they use as their ranking system to know whether a champion is good. So let's say you just pulled a frozen Banshee, you just go to the review system, like you think, oh yeah, she's good for Dragon, oh yeah, she's good for Demon Lord. So sometimes the reviews are accurate. So I wanted to take time today to actually add my own little piece into the Raid community and give my opinion, not just in my individual guide videos for this champion, but also to add it here. So it acts as another rating system for newer players who are coming into the game and have not found out about YouTube, that have not found out about Discord and Hellhate's website and all these other awesome resources that you can use to know if a champion is good or not. Alright, so let's start. I'm going to be ranking 10 legendaries like I said. It's going to be the top 10 that I used on my account. Let me give priority to those that help me in the early game. I'll not focus on only champions who are currently using the end game. So for legendaries, the first one I think that helped me in the early game when I started playing Raid is Bigon. He's the first legendary champion I pulled on my account, and the Raid review video that they give us, I think in the anniversary, showed that Bigon was my most used legendary champion 2 years in a row. So I'm going to be ranking him first of all because I have a lot of experience about him. Now, this is champion that is only used as a nuker, whether in dungeons, whether in the arena, whether in Doom Tower. It's just one purpose, as a nuker. I do have a guide on him, I think, but it's very old and I'm not sure how I built him at that time. So the first place that I'll tell you, he is my campaign farmer. Yes, let me quickly head to the campaign and show you what I'm talking about, how long he actually farms the campaign for me. It's a reasonable time. Do I actually have to do the run? Okay, let me just do the fast run so you see. It's a very fast campaign farmer. So when you have a Bigon, you don't really need to go build out a Fellhound. He actually replaced my Atel in the campaign immediately after I got him. And he could take down this wave one shot, take down the next wave one shot, and take down the last wave one shot. So that's what you want from a campaign farmer. So that's a reasonable 8 seconds. If my graphics was faster, it might be 6 seconds or so. So that's what I built him, not just for campaign, but he's built for nuking entirely, and he does the job fine. So that's why he's rated 5-star for the campaign, because when a champion can farm that fast, you have no choice but to give them their rating for campaign farming. So I'm going to be reviewing him as 5-star for campaign locations. Not just on Brutal now, he can also work in Nightmare, but you might need to accompany him with somebody to actually I place a decreased defense or revive him if he goes down, maybe a Seal the Drake, or to control the champions. So I'm gonna rating him 5 right there. Spiders then, for the early game, yes, I did take him into the Spider. You know that for Spider 10, 11, 12, or even Spider 1 up to all the way to 13, All you really need to do is go in there with AoE nukers and just hit them. So you don't need to do HP burn at those early stages. You don't need to stun, provoke. No, just go in there and nuke the entire spiderling. So the spider boss herself, the mother spider, doesn't have anything to eat and gain health back. So that's why it's rated highly there, I guess 4.9. But for the end game, it's not something you see at level 20 of spider. It's not something you see at level 24 of spider. Big gun is not there. So there is HP born champions that rule. So I'll say this 4.9 is not a fair rating. It's not a fair rating at all. Although for the early game, like I say, 1 to 13, he's fine. But for the late game, I don't think he deserves a 4 for spider. No. Because every nuker out there, every AoE nuker gets a spot in spider. But I guess people are giving him 4 in spider because his A1 is AoE, his A2 is AoE, everything is AoE. So he does a better job at clearing the spiderlings than most champions will do. But I'm not going to give him a 4 because he does not belong in spider 20. He does not belong in 24 or 25. And those are the most important parts of the spider for anybody who's been playing raid for a while. So he's the 3 for me over there. Arena offense, why are they giving me a 4.9? I guess it's the same thing that applies. I've been using Big Gun from the first time I started playing the arena up till today when I fought the arena. He's still in my teams. He's one of those nukers where you get him and you find out that you have no better nukers, right? Except you pull a Foley, you pull a Candraphon. You know, now you're talking about champions that can do even more damage than he can. Candraphon, Foley with the block revive. Even this other champion, I forget his name, I don't have him, a Void legendary champion who can also do a huge AoE nuke, does better damage than Big Gun in terms of arena. So I guess that's why people are ranking him a 4. He's not a full 5-star arena nuker because there are better nukers than he. Even Thunder, forgetting about some names. So those ones can be 5 while he will remain a 4 for the arena. But I see him in the arena end game. I'm talking about even Plat. I've seen somebody using in platinum for a live stream also. So he'll be a 4 over there for me. I hope I'm not taking too long with this one. I've spent so much time on Big Gun is because I love him so much. I guess I'll spend less time on other champions, especially when we go to the epics. I'll just brush through them. So for Minotaur, he can solo farm it. Oops, there goes my phone. Yes, he can solo the Mino, but it's not like he does have AoE on all the skills. Can he take down them in one hit without decreased defense? I've not tried it. I use my what's her name, Xavier, as my solo farmer for Mino. So I've not tried Big Gun to know if he can solo the Mino. So I'll rate him a 4 there. But he'll do fine just for damage because it's not that difficult. Dragon, he does fine for the waves, but it brings nothing to the boss. Maybe decrease accuracy or something like that. So I'm gonna give him a 3 there. But somebody who does fine for the waves deserves a 4 because it's the only boss that he can't really do fine for the boss. So I'm gonna give him a 3 there. It's not like no. You need a good wave clear if you want to be fast in this dragon. It works in 20. Works in what do you call it? 24, 25 of the dragon. All you need is somebody to poison the spider. I mean the dragon when you get there, and that's not Big Gun. That's where you have your frozen Banshee and others to do their job. He is just there for the waves to wave clear fast. So if you can clear the waves fast, you get to the boss fast and you have a lesser time. Arena defense, I use him the same way, so I'm not rating him a 5 there too. He'll be a 4 because I use my same Habitat team for my arena defense. Demon Lord, why are they giving me a 3 there? He doesn't belong in the Demon Lord at all. I say useless. He does have decreased attack. He has decreased speed, doesn't work on the boss. What else does it bring to that battle? Acceptable, eh? I just give him a 2 over there. And Ice Golem, yes, he works there, but you have to be very careful with Big Gun in the Ice Golem. Every skill is AoE damage. I'm going to be giving him 3 over there because while it works fine for the waves, he can be your downfall for the boss. I had to take him out of my Ice Golem 20 teams. That's the truth. I rather prefer a Frozen Banshee and an Awkward Brawler in the same team than have a Big Gun and a Frozen Banshee. Because Big Gun will just go in there doing his big hits. I even prepare an Amiga over Big Gun for this battle. It means my the waves might be slower, but at least you're not going there suiciding your entire team. So I'll give him a 3 there. He's good for the waves, bad for the boss. he does too much damage, which will make the boss proc his hits fast. Void Keep is fine for all these places. Spirit Keep, his magic affinity. Fire Knight, Beacon is not that great for Fire Knight. Is good for the waves, I guess, but for the boss he brings nothing. 2-hitter though, 2-hitter on that A1 is kind of good, I guess, so it's not the best place for him. Magic Keep, it's all right, it's the same affinity. Force Keep, his negative affinity, so I'll not be taking him into Force Keep. Faction Wars, he's awesome for Faction Wars. He might die to the wave, but if you get to the boss, he usually helps a lot in that. For Hydra, here he's good for the Hydra because of his AoE in A1 and every hit and all that. But I have not tested him. I don't know much about the Hydra, so I can't really give that rating yet right now, but I'll just do it because we are doing it. All right, that's my big one. You can only rate each champion once per day. Submit? Yes. Rating submitted. I successfully submitted my first rating in Raid Shadow Legends. Now I did say I was going to be doing 10 of each of them, so I spent too much time on Begin. Let me quickly rush through the rest of the other champions and get through it, so we'll get done with this video before the 20-minute mark. So the next one is still the Drake that I use the most in the early game. Let me quickly review her quickly. Campaign locations, she's not the best. She's there to accompany other champions who are the nukers to do the campaigns, but she's not the best one there. Faction Wars, Reviver, Stun, come on. Is that Faction Wars? Yes, come on, she's awesome for Faction Wars. I'm going to give her a 5 over there, because you can, once you get a Sealed Drake, that's one of the first factions you complete, the Barbarians Faction Wars. Sealed Drake and maybe a War Maiden, they just make it extremely easy. Arena Offense, she's not good for the arena. She can stun, but it's not a consistent or a reliable stun. Even if you have her in a stun set, it's too 50-50. So she deserves a 3 over there. Demon Lord, she's not used there maybe for the early game Brutal, but Nightmare, Ultra Nightmare, you will not see a Sealed Drake in any teams in this. Arena Defense also. I do have a Sealed Drake in my 3v3 team though. The one that has what's his name, resist champions like Brogni and all that. So I do have her in my 3v3 teams, but I'm just rating her 3 because she's not the best champion to rely for stun. Astral, you need people who can do 100% stun, 100% provoke on all the enemies. You don't need a 50-50 chance of placing that stun. But if you have a stun set on her, maybe it might land consistently, and people are always afraid of that stun. So Dragon's Lair, she's awesome right there. I'm going to give her a 5 because she's one of the champions who make it possible for newer players to hit that Dragon 20 to 25 content because of that stun for the waves, who hit extremely hard. If she does not stun them, you're like, oh god, I'm about to die. Spiders Den, she's awesome there. I'm going to give her a 5 over there because I know I used her in a stun set to control the spiderlings. Without her, I would have not been able to beat that Spider 20. So I waited till I got my Sealed Drake to beat Spider 20. She's excellent there. Once they are stunned, it's not 100% I know, but in a stun set, you have a higher chance of landing on all of them. So although a Drexter beats her hands down. So it's not nice to give her a 5, but I used her as my champion there. She's not the best for Mino, so I usually don't use her there. She can't solo, although she can support a solo champion, right? So it to be a duo. So if they go down, you can bring them up. Ice Golem, she's awesome there to stun those side arts, stun the waves. Everywhere she'll be a 4 for there. Fire Knight, she has 1-hitter A1. I'm gonna give her a 3 for Fire Knight. She's not the best champion. If you need somebody for the wave, of course, you always bring in a Sealed Drake to control the waves. So your Cold Hearts and others can get revived. So maybe she does deserve a 4. But by then you have an Arbiter, maybe. I don't know. If you don't have an Arbiter, she's your best champion for a revive and stun for those wave. Magic Keep, she's awesome. She's not like extremely. Spirit Keep, alright. Force Void Keep, okay. Force Keep, negative affinity, and we don't like that. Hydra, awesome. You need that heal, you need that revive. You can only submit once per day, yes. So that means if I made any mistake to these reviews, I can always revisit them tomorrow and make changes to it. Am I gonna be done with these things? I think I'm just gonna do five legendaries. It's taking me so much time. The next champion that changed my account for the better in the early game is Drexter. No, Razen, I mean. Because when I pulled this champion, that's when I was able to do decrease defense and weaken on the clan boss. And that made me able to do Ultra Nightmare clan boss in 3 keys. Usually without just decrease defense, I could do it in 4 or 5 keys. But when he came on board, he just made it possible for my Scorecrusher and others to do a lot of damage with their counter attack. And that's why I'm going to be reviewing him for my early game back in those days, I guess. Demon Lord, that's where he shines the most. I don't know why people are rating him this low. Demon Lord, that is the best place for Razen. That's the place you can give him a 5. Everywhere else is a 4 because Demon Lord is just one boss. So everywhere else, arena offense, people use his AoE decrease defense. I mean decrease turn meter for that arena offense or arena defense. Even in the leader slot to boost that resistance, that's what people use him for the most sometimes. But there are other champions that do it better. But for the early game, Demon Lord is the best champion for that pace. He does damage. Razen does damage. He's not somebody he's based on defense. So stacking defense, put some crit damage, especially in counter attack teams, he will go crazy. Even if he doesn't have poisons. Physical damage. Redis champion for the Fire Knight. He's awesome for the Fire Knight. I can tell you. Triple hit on that A1. I'm going to give him a 5-star for the Fire Knight. I don't care. He's a 5-star champion for the Fire Knight. Even in the end game, not just 20. I'm talking about even in 25. Although we get cold hearts and people will take down the waves faster. But for the boss itself, he's awesome. So that's why I give him a 5 right there. So for the wave, you can also do the atometer decrease. And if you the way I currently have my Razen built for the end game, he does a lot of damage for the waves. He does nuke the waves also. Arena defense, I'll be rating this champion for the arena defense. It's not that awesome for the arena. So that's my rating. For the Mino, he's awesome. He can solo the Mino, so I'm gonna be giving him a 4 over there. For the spiders, then he's awesome for the spider as an AoE champion who can take down the spider. Just like you have your Kale and others, right? So he's 4 over there also. For the Dragon Slayer, he's awesome for that, so I'll give him a 4 on that rating. Campaign location is not a campaign farmer. He's just that triple hit A1 and all that. Can't really do a lot of wave content, so he belongs in 3 for the campaign. And Magic Keep, he's positive affinity there. He'll work fine there. He steals I think he can remove this shield that this Magic Keep placed on herself. Yes, he can remove that shield, so it's awesome for that. And Faction Wars, yes, Razen is the main damage dealer for my Faction Wars. He's the main damage dealer for my Faction Wars. So yes, I'll give him a 5 over there. First Keep, he's positive affinity there. And then he can also remove all those buffs that this boss is putting on himself. I'm usually keeping my 5 for champions who can just go in there and solo it. That's why I'm not giving him a 5 for these keeps. Ice Golem, we don't need this amount of damage for this Ice Golem, so I'm going to give him a 3 over there. Spirit Keep, he's wrong affinity, so he'll get a 3 over there. Hydra, I've used Razen in the Hydra to maybe remove some of those buffs that so I'm gonna give him a 3 over there. It's not like that bad, but there are better champions who do AoE decrease defense and weaken that you can bring into the Hydra end game content, not early game content. That's the third one. Can I do 1 or 2 more? I'm just gonna do Arbiter because that's the next champion that I got and built after all these ones. Arena offense, since I've done 3 for legendary champions, let me move over to epics. Epic champion I used in the early game, I can think of this champion, Sepulchre Sentinel. She was also in my clan boss team, so let me quickly give her a rating that she deserves. 5-star in the Demon Lord, 5-star because of that block buff debuff, right? No, block debuff buff that she plays on all our champions, so we can get stunned and we don't get a slow speed. And when you have somebody to extend it, awesome. She's a champion that can help you with the dragon also. Increase defense, block all these poison that the dragon is trying to lace on you for those early games. Faction Wars, she's awesome there too. She's one of the strongest champion in the team for me, for my Faction Wars. So I'm going to give her a 5 over there. For Mino, she can't solo it. She can, but it will take you a long time. She's not a fast champion, and she does only single target on her A1. She doesn't really do an AoE hit. Arena defense, I've seen her being used in the arena, but that's not her best place. That's not her best place right now. But she can place that. She can make you extremely tanky and hard to kill. Redis champion in the Ice Golem, she can keep your team alive for the Ice Golem. Yes, she's an awesome champion to bring in there, so you don't take those in heal reduction and the boss doesn't hit you so hard. And she plays decrease attack also for that boss, so it doesn't hit hard too much. Arena offense, no, that's not her best slot. She's a champion that is defense based. Yes. Spider, why are you giving her a 3 for Spider? She has that block stun, block poison that the spiderlings are trying to place for you. But I guess that's all she brings. Decrease attack on the boss and block. No, she's not the best, but for that early time when you're trying to survive, you might need somebody to keep your team alive. Campaign location, no, she's not a campaign farmer. I'll even go down to 2 for her. Fire Knights, yeah, that's not her best slot either. When you have a sealed drake, you don't really need that. For Void Keep, she's okay there, I guess, to keep you alive if you need it. Force Keep, she's alright. We're looking for champions who can actually do more than just tank, and tanks are not giving the Magic Keep. She's alright, positive affinity. Spirit Keep, not that good. Hydra, yes, I'm gonna say yes to Hydra because of that sustain that she brings and that decrease attack she can put on different Hydra heads. Alright, that's Sepulchre. 1 for the epics. Can I do one more epic? I thought this was going to be a short video, but check out, we're still here. Scorecrusher is the next one. So far, I've been focusing on only champions I used in the early game. I've been scrolling past champion I'm currently using right now in the end game. So Scorecrusher is 5-star Demon Lord. That's where he belongs. Arena defense, he's a menace if you have that counter attack placed. I'm sorry. Fire Knight, yes, you can also take him to the Fire Knight and he will do that, reflect the counter attack on the boss when the boss hits your champions. But you have to let him save the counter attack till you get to the boss. Don't go there and then you don't have your counter attack ready. Arena offense is not seen there often because that's a slow arena run, except you have a defensive arena team that goes second. Ice Golem speak. You don't really need those counter attacks right there because you end up killing yourself with it. Mino is not the best place for him either, except you're just trying to beat it for the first time, then you put in all your best champions. Dragon, yes, for the early, he can help you kill the dragon faster, and then the waves faster when they hit you, I guess. Spiders, then not his best place either. No, it's even a 2 right there because of counter attack is not the best place for Scorecrusher. Campaign location, he's not a campaign farmer at all by any means. He has only one single target, A1. And Force Keep, Scorecrusher is a force champion. He's okay, I guess, if you need somebody to keep your team alive. So he's not there for damage, he's there to tank. Faction Wars is a 5. You can't have a Scorecrusher not bringing into Faction Wars. That's just how it is. Spirit Keep, negative affinity. Void Keep, he's alright. Heal reduction, he's not able to land that heal reduction because of negative affinity on the Spirit Keep. Else I would have ranked him higher here. I guess I can give him a 3 because of that heal reduction, right, for Spirit. And Hydra, yes, I've seen him being used in the Hydra, especially if you can stop that head from stealing your counter attack, right? Put that block buff debuff on that head, then you can bring the Scorecrusher and make them regret putting counter attack on you. And make them regret hitting you with those AoE hits. All right, that's the only second. Is it the second or the third? The second epic that I was able to do. This is going too long. Let me do one rare, and it will be Frozen Banshee. Frozen Banshee, I'm gonna rate her Demon Lord 4. Because it's early game champion. In the end game, you have better champions who can do poisons. Even once you get an Occult Brawler, people say Occult Brawler replaces her instantly. But I guess it depends on affinity. So I'm going to give her a 4. She's still good for the late game, but I'm saying by the time you have unkillable teams, Frozen Banshee is out of your teams. Dragon, she's awesome right there. There are better champions for it who can nuke. I'm talking about Xavier, Legendaries. So we will save our 5-star for the Legendaries. I'm giving her a 4 over there. So Faction Wars, she didn't really help me, but she was one of the damage champions for Faction Wars. I did replace her eventually. So in the early time, she's awesome right there when you don't have better ones. Mino, she's good in Mino. Poisons for that boss. The waves, she's not that useful for the poison. For the boss, she can actually solo it if other champions go down. She can keep herself alive. Campaign locations, that would be a nope. Even a 1 in campaign. That's how bad she is for campaigns. Ice Golem's peak. Yes. We do have better legendaries. We saved our 5-star for. So why is she giving a 3 there? That's weird. She's positive affinity for Ice Golem 20, right? It's spirit. That's a 3 generally, but she's a 4 for me. Because I use her in my Ice Golem team when I don't want to do too much damage to him, right? I'm coming in there with, like I said, Frozen Banshee and Occult Brawler to poisons and let him kill himself. And not worry too much about trying to do physical damage to him, which he will retaliate. Fire Knight is not the best place for her. Poisons generally is not the best place for Fire Knight. I'll even go down as a 1 right there, because that's a single target A1, right? Or does it hit 2 times? Arena offense, that's a no. You will not find Frozen Banshee in the arena, maybe for the early game. Spiders, that's a no also. And at least these ones are accurate. Arena defense, that's also a no for me. Spirit Keep, maybe. Force Keep, that's a no. Magic Keep, that's a maybe. And Void Keep, maybe. Because of just the boss. For the waves, she can't help, but the bosses, she might be able to help. Hydra, that's a big no. Poisons don't do much, except I think a particular head. Submit for Frozen Banshee. I have one more to end the video. I want to do an uncommon. We've done rares, we've done epic. Where is the uncommon that I want to do? He's Amiga. That's the only one I have built. There's no way I'll do this video and not add an Amiga review right there. Spiders, then 5-star. I don't know what you guys are talking about for. 5-star Spider Champion. That's his best place for Amiga. Fire Knight Castle, I'll give him a 4 because it doesn't help with the waves, but it helps with the boss. Keep that turn meter down permanently. Ice Golem Block Revive, 5-star. I don't know what these ratings that are talking about right here. Demon Lord, nah, don't take him to the clan boss at all. Mino, maybe in the early game. Dragon, Block Revive. I mean, it doesn't really help much, but for the boss, level 20, below 20, he can do a lot of damage there. For Force Keep, he's not that great, I guess. Campaign locations is not a campaign champion at all. It will take too long. Faction Wars, I guess, is a 3 right there, because once you begin to get epics and legendaries, you replace him. Spirit Keep, he's alright. Keeps that boss from healing. So keep it down. Keep your turn meter down. Arena offense, you will not find him in the arena. Maybe only in the early game. Arena defense, neither. Void Keep, he keeps the turn meter down. Magic Keep, negative affinity. Hydra, you will not see him in the Hydra. It's too weak. Turn meter does nothing there also. Alright, that's my review of some champions in Raid Shadow Legends. This is not just an ordinary review of their skills and ability or individual usage. This is just me going through this in-game review systems where you can rate your champions. I kind of feel like a Karen right now. I won't tell you lies. I feel like a manager reporting champions that he doesn't like, or the ones that serve him good or not. So generally, reviews are good to give you a feedback about champions and how they perform in-game. But you should not rely solely on it, because you can see it's based on partial opinions about how I use the champion, how he helped me. He might be an awesome champion you used for Demon Lord and he was able to do 5 million, 10 million damage for you, and you rate him high. It's a personal opinion. That's what I'm saying. So Another thing I should add, that recommended artifacts are a no-go. Never take recommendations from here. For ratings, I can say sometimes they are accurate, sometimes they are wrong. But for recommendations, they are 100% wrong. As a new player, do not take artifact recommendations. I've not ever found one artifact recommendation here that was correct. Maybe I've not looked hard enough. If we go to Habitat, can we find... See? He's even giving you live... No, Habitat is speed, speed, speed. So I've never found one. Do not take any recommendations here. Player recommendations have not been added because those ones will be accurate. So they don't want to replace that. Anyways, that's this video. I wanted it to be short, but unfortunately, we couldn't cover 10 legendaries, 10 epics, or 10 rares like I originally wanted, because I kept going over my reasons why I was rating them. If I was not giving reasons for rating them that way, maybe I would have covered a lot more champions. All right, you guys let me know what you think about my rating of these champions. Are you on board with me, or did I go contrary to what you rate them as in any of these ones that I checked out? I only covered early game champions, and I just thought I'll do something different that I've never done in raid today, and that is check out the raid reviews and actually provide my own feedback. Something you do only if you're extremely bored in raid. That's what I wanted to do today, and I was bored. So you guys let me know what you think about this one. Like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one.